Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayed Nishtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtake Durlabha Manusho Deho Dehinam Shanabhangurai Trapi Durlabham Manye Vaikuntha Priya Darshinaha Akam sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrina bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Hare Krishna. We read till text 59 yesterday, correct? That Shukdev Goswami was concluding about the two Matsya-Avatars, namely one in the sixth Manu, Chakshusha, and one in the first Manu, Swayambhu. So in the Chakshush Manu, Satyavrat Muni, who was the main hero, or the main servant, he will become Manu in the next Manu, which is currently going on. So Shraddha or Vevasvat Manu. That's the same personality as King Satyavrata. Let's see, all of you have read this chapter, heard this chapter with a lot of love, devotion, and sincerity. So let's see what Shukdev Goswami tells to a person who reads and hears this with a lot of sincerity. Satyavratasya rajarshir maya matsyasya sharangihi samvadam mahad akyanam shrutva mucheta kilbishad. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. The story concerning the great King Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. Hare Krishna. So anyone who hears these pastimes, reads this pastime, narrates this pastime, Yeniken Prakarin will be relieved of all the sinful reaction. So, okay, you can read last, second last verse. Munna Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Avataram Hare Yo Yama Kirta Yede Anvaham Nara Sankalpastasya Siddhayanti Sayati Paramam Gatim. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavrata will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled, and he will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. The last three verses are the phalashruti. Shruti means hearing, phala means fruit. One who hears these wonderful pastimes of Matsya Avatar, what will happen? Sankalpa tasya siddhyanti. That person's sankalpa or vow or ambition will be fruitful. It will lead to its goal. So we can take some sankalpa, like it vows, basically spiritual vows, that I want to, at least minimum chant 16 rounds in the morning time with great devotion, love, humility, gratitude, sincerity, to follow the four regulative principles, to become a sincere servant of the spiritual master, to never offend devotees, to never criticize devotees. And if we keep hearing name, form, qualities of the Lord, then Kṛṣṇa will help us to fulfill all our sankalpa, ambition. Devotion life does not mean to not have ambition. Devotion life means to have unlimited ambition, spiritual ambitions. Sa yati paramam gatim. Gati means destination. Paramam, not just any destination, topmost destination. Back home, back to Godhead. Of this, there is no doubt. So that means all of you who read and heard these wonderful narrations, reading, hearing of these wonderful pastimes of Matsya-Avtar, and King Satyavrata, Shukdev Goswami is saying that all of you are going to go back home, back to Bharat. Don't doubt, undoubtedly. Okay, last verse. Who wants to read this one? Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. And with pranam. Pralaya prayas tatur supta shaktir mukhebhyaha shruti ghanam apanitam pratyupadha tathatvaha ditijam akathayat yo brahma satyavritanam tamaham akila hetum jima mani manam natosmi. Okay. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature of Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrata and the great saintly persons. Here is a summary of Satyavrata's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon Hayagriva and restore them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrata. The word Satyavratanam is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrata can take knowledge from the Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Krit Vedarit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kṛṣṇa or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedescha sarvam ahameva vedyaha. One cannot understand Vedic literature from Vedavadaratas who read the Vedas and misconstrue their subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 8th Canto, 24th chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, sir.
So, this is pretty much a one shloka summary. In Chakshusha Manvantara, the Lord appeared to restore the Vedas from the demon Hayagriva and brought back the Vedas, gave it to Brahma so he can pass on that knowledge. And later he came in the First in the Swayambhu and then the Chakshusha Manvantara, to have these pastimes with Satyavrata Muni, or King Satyavrata, not the Muni Satyavrata. This is a Raj Rishi. He's a king. So let's see this special few comments here. Would someone want to read this part?
I can read, Prabhuji. This commentation has been finished in our New Delhi Center today, the 1st of September 1976, the day of Radha Ashtami, by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Acharyas. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandero Charanot Sevi Bhakto Shana Bash Janame Janame Hai Ei Obilash. I am attempting to present Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the English language by the order of my spiritual master Srimad Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and by his grace, the work of translation is gradually progressing, and the Europe-American devotees who have joined the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement are helping me considerably. Thus, we have expectations of finishing the great task before my passing away. All glory to Sri Guru and Gaurango. End of the 8th canto. Back to Puji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's interesting, we completed chapter 3 in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and pretty much the same mood Srila Prabhupada has. At the end of every canto, he writes these, because now we are reading after how many years? 45 years? 76, right? How many years? 45 plus years, 48 years, whatever. But Prabhupada didn't know how many will he be able to complete. So at that time, he was writing in present tense, that today we completed this commentation on the day of Radha Ashtami, 1976. So, congratulations. It's not easy to read anything in this world regularly, any good thing, even on a material level, right? Reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the association of devotees is million times more rare. But all of you are so sincerely reading day after day, verse after verse, week after week, year after year, canto after canto. This is very, very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada and to all those who are true servants of Srila Prabhupada and to our Guru Parampara. And this is the process, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So Kṛṣṇa must be very happy with all of you who are sincerely trying to read Bhagavatam every day. Prabhupada must be very happy. The reason why he has given all these books for all of us to read. So much life he has put in. So thank you for reading regularly these wonderful books. And we have completed Canto 8, which means if we go by the canto, we have read 2/3 of the cantos. That means Canto 1 to 8 out of the 12 cantos. But if you go by the shloka, Canto 10 is a little exhaustive, or let's say Canto 10 is very big. If we go by the number of verses, we are kind of halfway through, a little close to 50%. But the goal is not to complete Bhagavatam. The goal is to read and relish Bhagavatam. Whether it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that's fine. Everyone has different speed, everyone has different intelligence, different level, different way of understanding. But I am so grateful to all of you for giving your precious association. When you have to walk fast or walk like a short 100-meter race, then just run. But when we have to walk for 5 years, then it's always good to go together, because alone it's very hard. एकाकी हमारा नहीं पाया बल हरि नाम संकीर्तने ओय Vishnu Thakur Daya Sagara Ida se Karuna Kori. Because it's only by the association of sincere souls like all of you that I can read Bhagavatam. Otherwise, I would not have been able to read just by myself. I can speak for myself. So thank you. A quick synopsis of this chapter 24, Matsya-Avtar. Whoever reads or hears, all sins will be purified and go back to Godhead. All the vows will reach their perfection. So, Parikshit Maharaj develops a desire to hear about the Lord, Matsya Avatar. Because in the previous chapter, the story kind of ended at the whole Samudra Manthan, and Bali Maharaj later came. He again got the kingdom. Vaman Dev came, and 3 steps of land. All that's there till pretty much the middle 80% of the Canto 8 is that whole. The first section is Gajendra, the last is Matsya, and the middle is the whole 5 demigods, Samudra Manthan, and so many pastimes, Bali Maharaj, Shukracharya, and Urukrama, Upendra. The last chapter is just one exclusive chapter of Matsya Avatar. So why did the Lord accept this fish incarnation, which is generally in the Tamoguna? Fishes are in Tamoguna. Therefore, one who eats fishes will also be in that guna. Very simple. Every food is in certain guna. Why we don't eat non-veg? Because it's in Tamoguna. Even worse than that. So, there's mention about 2 Matsya Avatar. One is the Swambhu Manus and the Chakshush Manu. Right? The first incarnation came to retrieve the Vedas, who Hayagriva had stolen from Brahmaji, and the second for the pleasure of Satyavrata Raj Rishi, who later became Shraddhadev or Vyavasvat Manu. He was at river Kritamala doing his offerings, and suddenly he got a fish. Oh, what's a fish came in my palm? Okay, let me put it back because I am not here for fishing. I am here for offering oblations. He put it back. And then the fish spoke. Well, I need protection. If you leave me here, where will I go? The big fishes will eat me. They are very mean Sharira. They are very Matsyan. They are not Nirmatsa. They are not reading Bhagavatam. So they are very Matsya or envious. They will eat me away. So better you save me. He says, I haven't heard the fishes speaking. But anyways, the duty of the king is to give protection to the praja, and every insect, everyone is a part of the praja, and the king gives the protection equivalent to how he would give to his own children. Okay, the fish asking, he put the fish in a jug of water, few inches, right? How much? It's like a pen, imagine a few inches. And then from as soon as overnight it expanded, then you put in the well, expand it further, put in the lake, expand it further, put in the ocean. And we discussed this point. Our desire should not be like that. Because the income is X, the expenditures are X or sometimes 1.5X. The income grows 1.5X, the expenditure becomes 2X. The income goes 2X, the expenditures become 3X. Actually, that's why 80% of the American population is in debt. It's a serious problem. On the other hand, Indians have a little better handle at this point. Maybe sometimes a little bit too much on the other side, that too much saving, and not even open to charity. So nice balance is required of saving for the future at the same time, not being miser and being giving charity also. So the we're discussing about the Parkinson law and things like that, and how things expand given the space provided. So coming from Matsya Avatar, how the work expands given the time allotted. Matsya Avatar. So Satyamuni Muni was bewildered. Well, which fish can expand like this from jug to ocean? Quite big. And then he offered prayers because he realized that it's not an ordinary fish. He offered multiple prayers that how you are Avyayam, you are the Supreme Lord Narayana. You are there for the everyone's benefit. Sarvaloka Hita. So multiple prayers he offered. O lotus-eyed Lord, worship of your lotus feet is never useless like demigod worship. So in short, demigod worship is antavantu falatesha, but worshipping the Supreme Lord is never useless. Neha bikramanashasti prativayana. One spends 1 million days worshipping demigods. On the contrary, one spends 1 minute worshipping the Supreme Lord. There is no match to that. So Lord Matsya speaks, okay, 7 days. 7 is very holy number. 7 days. 7 days later, I'll come. 7 Saptarishi, Saptadhatu, Satswar. So many things have 7 in common. Parikshit Maharaj, 7 days. Bhagavatam, 7 days. So 7 days from today, Bhu Bhavaswa, well, can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. Manamataji, that may be something at your end, and if others are able to hear, maybe you can try to reconnect or something. Okay, after 7 days, you collect all the seeds, herbs, and the boat will come. Vasuki the serpent will come. So I shall travel you in the water of the Garbhodaka. So this was in Chakshusha Manvantara. 8 million miles long. 8 million. Kurma Avatar, 800,000. 10 times that, 8 million miles. Matsya Avatar. And Vasuki the snake. Vasuki also very helpful. Earlier he came in the Samudra Manthan also he came as the grinding rope. So 8 million miles, not an ordinary fish. Uru Krama, right? Exalted, extraordinary activities of the Lord. So Matsya Avatar, first before that, Sri Satyavrat Muni, Satyavrat Rajrishi was waiting. Patience, we discussed the importance of patience. So then the Lord disappeared. Satyavrat Muni was waiting, and in the Kusha grass, the rain started to pour. He saw a boat, and then the Lord, and then the Vasuki, everything was there. And then finally, they all seated. They boarded the cruise with the 8 million mile long fish pulling that boat. See, the Lord is so humble, right? If we see in one other way, in the Arjuna's case, the Lord became a chariot driver, right? That's still better. But in this case, the Lord became the vehicle only, or the engine to pull. Actually, this comes in the story of the Dwarka also. There's a special story between Rukmini and Lord Kṛṣṇa and Durvasa Muni. There's a famous temple also, and if you go to Dwarka, Kṛṣṇa pulled the chariot. Kṛṣṇa became like the horse, like pull the chariot with hand, not the chariot driver. I'm missing all the details of that, but there's a famous story. Rukmini and Kṛṣṇa, they had to pull the chariot together with their own hands. So the same way here, Matsya Avatar is pulling the boat and having a wonderful conversation. It's not that he's exhausted. It's not that he's 8 million miles. He's having fun. So wonderful prayers, 46 to 53 verses. So many wonderful prayers. Mainly about the importance of Guru. Who is the right Guru? What we should ask, what we should not ask. How we should distinguish the right Guru. Parampara Praptam, Supreme Spiritual Master. And Krishna's avatar. One should give all respect to the Guru as one would give to the Supreme Lord. So in short, Guru, one should ask spiritual things, not give me material things, give me good health, give me good wealth, give me this, give me that. Not be like Shukracharya, but like a pure devotee who gives the best thing. So one should first know how to seek the right Guru. At the same time, one should have the eagerness to seek the right Guru. And one should have the knowledge to understand the difference as well. It's like buying gold, right? Buying gold, we need what? First, we need to approach the right shop, right? But just going to the shop is not sufficient. We should have the money also, right? So, okay, they'll just give water and get out, right? If you don't have the money represents the price to get the right Guru, or the sincerity. The price is sincerity. And one should have the knowledge. All that glitters is not gold. Someone can cheat with just putting some nice paint on the yellow plastic and nice polish and then say it's gold. So one should have the intelligence to distinguish. One should have the price of sincerity to pay. And one should ask for the right things and check also. There are certain, sometimes they give certified, right? So this is our Guru Parampara system is very certified. It goes all the way back to Kṛṣṇa, Brahma Madhav Gauri Sampradaya, which we share with great spiritual pride. It's not any just Tom, Dick, Harry saying all these things. So anyone who reads, hears, narrates, shares these pastimes will go back home, back to Godhead. All the sins will be washed, heart will be cleansed, back home, back to Godhead. Any comments, addition? This is a quick synopsis of this chapter. Any additions? Okay, so it's almost time, and we will have a quiz, Kahoot quiz. We didn't have from a long time, but we can have it tomorrow. So be ready. I don't know the chapter numbers also, but it will be from the ones we have covered. So, okay, from the Bhagavatam, and maybe from Chaitanya Charitamrita, or maybe just one, but it'll be from the ones we have covered. Okay, so thank you so much. Matsya Avatar ki jai, Satyavrata Rajarshi ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.